He was like, I know a guy, I'll bring the ATV and the guy to you the next day. Hey guys, it's Ayo and welcome back to my channel, Ayo Does. Today's video is going to be all about how to find the best local experiences and activities in any of the areas that you're traveling to. My first tip, if you do have some room in your schedule, I would highly recommend talking to the front desk at your hotel or the host of your Airbnb or accommodations to help you find some local experiences that you may not have looked for or found online. For example, when I went to Greece on my first solo trip, I asked my Airbnb host, hey, where can I get an ATV rental done? He was like, I know a guy, I'll bring the ATV and the guy to you the next day, which was super convenient. I didn't even have to go anywhere, all because I asked my Airbnb host, do you know where I can get an ATV? So things like that, just talk to the Airbnb host or your front desk, because sometimes the front desk at a hotel, they also know companies that the hotel is partnered with to help guests find activities that they can sign up for through the hotel at a discounted rate. That's another way to save money. My next tip is also very useful when you're actually at your destination and you have a little bit of extra time, is to just talk to the locals that are out and about, because you never know what you are missing out on because you already figured out your entire itinerary from online, instead of just talking to some locals that live there every day and have come to know some really cool spots to eat, visit, do an activity. So strike up a conversation with locals if you can, if you feel comfortable enough. They might even strike up a conversation with you and give you ideas or even more than you ask them for, because they really want to see tourists actually experience the local parts of their area. A great way to experience more of the local life without having to go through a tour company or anything like that. So it really helps to just connect and try to connect with the locals that live there, because you never know how they'll put you on. Networking actually goes far even when you're traveling, because my friend was also able to get a discounted ride, for example, when she was going to be solo for a portion of our trip in Guatemala. We just were talking to the owner of the activity that we were on, and he ended up scheduling a ride for her later that day that was discounted. He was able to make the journey for my friend even easier because she didn't have to worry about finding a ride in a very complicated area. My third tip is more useful when you're planning your trip ahead of time, which is to go through some online platforms like Airbnb Experiences, Get Your Guide, Viator. Those are really great places to start, and where I always start when I want to figure out something to do on my vacation or my trip. Airbnb Experiences, I feel like, has a lot of great local experiences, because anybody can create an Airbnb experience. You can even create an Airbnb experience in your city, but it's based on someone deciding, hey, I want to, take tourists around my area or do something cool while they're visiting. So I've done a lot of really great local experiences through Airbnb. You don't even have to actually have purchased an Airbnb reservation. You just can go onto Airbnb Experiences and find an experience that you feel fits your vibe or looks interesting to you. Get Your Guide is also another great platform, and I've really loved using Get Your Guide over this last year, because I've really enjoyed the experiences that I've gotten from Get Your Guide. The support team is really great when I've had an issue. I just feel like not only is it a great way to search for activities that you can do, it's very organized. You can filter by whatever you're looking for, time of day that you want the experience to be at. The third one, Viator, like I mentioned, is another great platform where you can filter by what vibe you're looking for the activity, filter by price, area they were partnered with or became a part of TripAdvisor. I also have a Viator shop if you want to check out my Viator shop, where I've curated a bunch of different activities for a lot of different areas, and I'm continuing to add to it. So I'll leave the link in the description and on the screen here. And with those online tour companies that, provide a whole bunch of activities that you can do, you can also see reviews from other travelers, so you know what you're getting yourself into. I stay on a reviews page. I want to make sure that I'm getting the best bang for my buck, and it's really helpful to see what other people had to say in a very honest review on the page itself. My last tip would be to also look online like you're doing right now through YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram. They're all really great places to actually see what an experience or an activity is going to be like. They're a really great way to visualize like what you're going to be able to do rather than just reading it. So after, finding an activity you may want to purchase on Viator or Get Your Guide or Airbnb Experience, you can go over to TikTok and Instagram and even YouTube to see what those activities would be like and see if it's worth your time or worth your money. I think it's a great way to kind of get a well-rounded view of what an activity, if an activity is right for you. Finding local experiences really doesn't have to be too complicated. There are so many ways to find activities before you land and even after you land as well. Talking to the locals, talking to the front desk or the host of your accommodations, and just trying out different sites that offer activities like Viator, Get Your Guide, Airbnb Experiences, and then just topping it off with looking at, how those activities actually go through TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So if you enjoyed this video and found this video to be helpful, definitely hit subscribe so I can bring you guys more tips for travel, and let me know in the comments your favorite way to find local experiences. Even if they're also bucket list experiences, let me know as well, because I would love to also find better ways to plan for my trip and also just to find things to do while I'm there if I have extra time. Safe travels and see you guys in the next one.